Alright, hello there. We have an update in regards to what happened yesterday in Bayside. I was waiting for a little bit more details. Obviously, I wasn't going to do a video last night as I felt it would have been too soon to give an update. So, I figured now would be the time, given that we have a few more details about what happened, and we do have a tweet on Twitter that proves that Channel 7 did cover it, so let's read this. This is from the New York Post, so there's a lot of crime we gotta get into. We're gonna talk about it, obviously. And, of course, Channel 1 is ignoring everything as usual. So it says here, a teen was shot in the arm by one of his fellow students blocks from a Queens high school, causing it to lock down, according to officials and sources. The shooting erupted just after 3 p.m. on Friday, March 25th, at the intersection of Springfield Blvd and Horace Harding Expressway, 2 blocks south from Benjamin Cardozzo High School. The 16-year-old was taken to Norfolk and was expected to be okay, police said. The 2 other teens, whose names were not known, were taken into custody, and a gun was recovered at the scene. All 3 were students at the nearby Queens School and were in school Friday, according to school and law enforcement sources. So a police source said they walked out of the place and then just started shooting each other. Cops are still searching for 2 others believed to be involved in the gun violence. So a school spokeswoman said, "The safety of our students and staff is our top priority, and out of abundance of caution, the campus went into a brief shelter in response to an off-campus incident." So, I guess they can understand why they did that. And of course, I'm going to title this video today, Channel 1 Ignores Disaster at Cardozzo High School. That's what we're going to name this video today. That's what we're going to name this video, because it's clearly obvious what's going on here. And again, we do have a picture from Channel 7 right here, as you can see. And I did see on the Citizen app yesterday that there was, in fact, a picture of the potential 2 suspects that were arrested in front of a home. So obviously, you're not going to see this on Channel 1. Thankfully, I did find the picture. So, this is from the Citizen app yesterday, and as you can see right here, we do have a picture that I did take from my phone. This is apparently one of the suspects that 111 Precinct did bring into custody yesterday for questioning. So, obviously, the identity of the teen cannot be released due to the age difference. He's under 18. That's what I can confirm at this moment, but I mean, look at this. 350 people saw this live, including me, of this one teenager getting arrested on camera yesterday. So, obviously, this was what happened yesterday. And let's see if Channel 1 had anything about it. Let's see. No, nothing about it, obviously. No, because we're so oblivious to what's going on here. In fact, let's take a look at the Queens section. See what we can find here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This has nothing to do with Queens. This has nothing to do with Queens. So again, Channel 1 is just showing their true colors again. Why aren't I surprised? Why aren't I surprised? Let's see if we can find anything in the papers today, Siri. Siri? Look at this. They're so obsessed with gossip. Gossip!
Okay, it's time to take a look at some of what's in the papers on this Saturday morning.
Yeah, the dream season for St. Peter's University in Jersey City on the front page of the Post.
I mean, my goodness. I mean, I understand this is a feel-good story, but for crying out loud, we almost had a mass shooting yesterday in Bayside. It could have been a whole lot worse. This is what Channel 1 is so addicted about. Look what they're covering. And I understand the Oscars are this weekend. Okay, and I will admit, I will be watching.
I'm sure his dad would be very proud of him.
And some of the movies were actually good this year.
New revelations from the...
And then look, the Daily News is talking about Trump. Unbelievable!
Washington Post that his wife...
The shooting in Bayside should have come in the front page! So it seems the newspapers are also showing their true colors. I mean, look at this. No, they're not going to talk about the crime. They're not going to talk about a 3-year-old getting shot. No. No. Because where did... And then look at this. They're showing Long Island. This is supposed to be a New York City station. And I get, okay. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong here. Maybe because, you know... Maybe I'll have to do a separate video on the M9 thing if I can find it, but...
They were upgraded on LIRR, the front page story of Newsday, saying here that an audit from the state comptroller found that the LIRR contributed to the 3-year delay in the rollout of the new fleet of M9s. Tom DiNapoli's report saying that LIRR accepted cars with more than 9,000 defects or deficiencies from its so they could get the cars in service.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
A statement by Russia's defense ministry
and of course, you know, the New York Times is going to be too busy talking about Biden being in Poland. You know, so this is their true colors. This is what's going on here. You know, Channel 1's just
here's what she did.
Ignoring us as usual. No surprise here. And you know, you would think in the papers they would talk about the Amazon election. So let's actually watch a video about the Amazon election that Channel 1 actually did do a good job covering, because this should be a big priority right now. I mean, Amazon's getting close to actually having their first union. So, let's watch the video. So, what I'm going to do again is what I did yesterday, and you kind of did hear me do some behind-the-scenes stuff. So, let me get the cable input in. You're going to hear a little bit of a brief echo, so let's play the video.
The line wrapped around the sidewalk and into a tent. Inside, Amazon workers at the Staten Island warehouse now have the opportunity to vote on whether or not they want to unionize.
I decided to vote yes.
How did you vote today?
No.
Friday morning was the first time these workers at this Staten Island Amazon warehouse could cast ballots. They must decide if they want a new group known as the Amazon Labor Union to represent them. That union is made up of current and former employees, not affiliated with any of the established labor organizations here in the 5 boroughs.
I'd rather a real union come in. 1199, Teamsters, Local 79, someone that been around.
That was a deciding factor for Patrick Delancey, who voted no.
If you weigh your pros and cons, Amazon got a lot of pros going with them and a little bit of negative. Yeah, we work 10, 12 hours, but the benefit is they don't let us go past a certain amount of hours.
For months, workers have been organizing here, led by a former employee.
The number one thing is just taking care of ourselves, you know, our health over wealth, working conditions, job security, higher wages, better quality of life, all these things that the union can provide.
Part of their promise is possibly a higher wage, something that led some employees to vote yes.
Well, I voted for the union.
Why?
Well, if I vote no, that means I'm going to be doing more work for lower wages. And I don't think it's right that we work for lower wages like we make one person rich.
So far, there has not been much political support from local leaders for this group. Just a rally on Sunday.
Union power! Union power!
Friday, we asked the mayor whether he supported the workers' efforts.
I'm a union member. I believe in unions. I'm hoping that all the workers do a real analysis on the benefits of having a union. I believe in it, and I'm hoping that we can start the process of unionizing all these shops. I think unions should be in every occupation.
Amazon has been attempting to persuade workers to vote no. A spokesperson sent New York One this statement, quote, "We look forward to having our employees' voices heard. Our focus remains on working directly with our team to continue making Amazon a great place to work."
It's unclear when we'll get the results from this election, but we know the National Labor Relations Board will begin counting ballots next Thursday. On Staten Island, Courtney Gross, New York One.
So again, I will give Channel 1 credit, okay? I mean, think about it. Look how much time they spent on this. 3 minutes. I mean, this is a big deal. Alright, the workers have been asking for a union for a very long time, and as you saw, let's fast forward to, what am I going to fast forward to? I want to fast forward to the other guy. Let's see, which guy did they show? The guy in the mask, right? Yeah, this guy right here. I'm in agreement. You know, I mean, inflation keeps going up. I mean, obviously, we're feeling the pain in Osnum, of course, with all the inflation, too. Especially dealing, you know, with short staff. And, you know, come to think of it, I want to show you something important before we get to the crime. Tish James nursing homes. Because there was something about it online. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. Well, that's not it. No. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. This is it. Well, you gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna turn off the ad blocker. Okay. So here we go. Advocates yesterday urged New York State Attorney General Letitia James to delay enforcing minimum nursing home staffing requirements due to a workforce crisis that is afflicting that and many other industries. James has voiced her support for immediately imposing the state's minimum staffing standards. A letter addressed to James on behalf of Lead Age New York, which represents non-for-profit and public providers of long-term care services, argued that the decision is not realistic for the group's members to meet. So it says here in a statement, there is nothing our non-for-profit and public nursing home members would like more of than to have ample staff and to be able to pay them well. Very few nursing homes in the state would currently meet the rigorous and unrealistic state-mandated staffing standards. Maybe you should go inside Osnum Hall and see how much staff we don't have on specific floors. Okay, I mean, these people don't know what's best for us, you know? You know, this is ridiculous. We need more staff. We don't have proper people in the right places right now. I mean, my goodness. You know, this should be brought up on Channel 1, but Channel 1's not going to talk about nursing homes. No, because nursing home workers are blue collar, so they don't mean anything. It's like, if you're Channel 1, you know, you have your own priorities. And this is the proof right here. This is the proof. No. So anyhow, let's get into more crime, because I got a couple things you got to talk about. And, in fact, hang on. Let's go to Laura Uhl first, because I wanted to show you a couple of things before we get to the other news articles. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to look for this. Okay. Police report of an armed robbery in Whitestone. This is at Malma section on Malma Drive. It happened on March 24th, so this was on Thursday around noon. 4 suspects, male black teens, took off in a gray Honda Civic after the incident. The male was reported ongoing investigation. So, male shot in Bayside, we know about that. Look at this. Scams at Flushing Meadows Park. I mean, you know Channel 1's not going to cover this. You know they won't. So this is what Jonathan was telling me about. Right here. Shooting in Hollis. 2:46 p.m. on March 25th in the vicinity of 188th Street and Henderson Avenue. So it says here that police released video footage of brazen shooters who injured a 36-year-old man. So it says 3 suspects ran up to the location and opened fire of the victim, who's off camera. Several shots were immediately striking the windows of a sedan parked in front of the home. At one point, one of the suspect's guns appears to jam, forcing him to re-rack the weapon several times while attempting to fire, though he seemed to be unsuccessful in getting off any additional rounds. Cops said the armed trio fired multiple shots at the victim, striking him on the left shoulder, and fled on foot in an unknown direction. I do apologize if you can't read this, but I'm going along here. The incident was reported to the 103rd Precinct, EMS rushed the victim to Jamaica Hospital, where he was listed in stable condition. So at least the good news is this guy's going to be okay. So, no arrest, obviously. So here is what appears to be people running. And apparently this is the gun. So there you go. I mean, more insanity in New York City. More insanity. In fact, hang on. We have some economics news we're going to get into at the end of this video, because Channel 1 didn't cover that either. No. So, let's see. Let's see here. So I wanted to take a look at the intersection, 188th and Henderson Avenue. Let's take a look. Let's see. Pull it up. So this is where the shooting happened, right around here. And, you know, obviously, since this is Hollis, you know Channel 1's not going to cover us, because Hollis has diversity. No, we're not going to care about what happens in Hollis now, will we? No. Trust me, I've been to Hollis. This is not an area you want to be in. It's very dangerous. Okay, so let's get to this. This is the more urgent one. Channel 1 should have covered this. Alright, they didn't. They did not cover it. So here we go. 3-year-old girl shot outside of a daycare in Brooklyn. In fact, I heard about this on 1010 Wins this morning. So here it says, shots rang out in front of 127 Riverdale Avenue in Brownsville just after 6 p.m. as the child was leaving a 2-story building that houses the Creative Minds Family Daycare Center with her father, according to cops and daycare workers. Police officers angered the gunshot wound on the girl's shoulder and then rushed her to Brookdale University Hospital in their own cruiser, said Chief of Department Kenneth Corey. In fact, come to think of it, Channel 7 covered this last night. Now I remember, yeah, they had a press conference about this. So the good news is the child's going to be okay. Police said the gunman squeezed off around 5 shots before fleeing on foot. It's unclear who he was aiming at, but the target was not the girl's father. So it says here, daycare employee who did not wish to be identified told the New York Post of the shooting had not been sold past. 2 other children were also in the vicinity but unharmed. Holding up a surveillance image of the suspect, Corey implored New Yorkers, help us catch him before he shoots another child. When do we come together as a community in the city and say enough is enough? So, and then look at this. A 7-year-old girl was struck by a bullet in Brooklyn earlier this week. So let's see when this happened. So it says here that 3 p.m. Monday, gunman opened fire from a black sedan, striking the girl. So this happened in Coney Island. I mean, Channel 1 ignored this too. So there you go. I mean, Channel 1 is so full of it, you know? They are so full of it. It's the same old Channel 1. You know? Coney Island. Cannot make this stuff up, you know? Okay. So it says here, homicide in the Bronx. So let's see where this happened. 19-year-old man was found with several gunshot wounds near Matilda Avenue and Nearded Avenue in the Wakefield section of the Bronx around 6:45 p.m. on Wednesday, March 25th. He was taken to St. Barnabas Hospital where he was pronounced dead. His name was not immediately released. Police said the suspect matched and wearing all black approached the victim on the street and opened fire. It's unclear what the motive was. No arrests were made as of Friday night, so... Again, it's Eric Adams. Blood is on his hand as usual. You know? What else is new? So we are going to get to some economics news in Queens in just a second, because I know I don't like to talk about it as much, but there was some stories that Channel 1 did also ignore as well. By the way, we have an update on what happened in Long Island City. The homeless man who was accused of an attack on a woman has been indicted, according to Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz. So here we go. So it says here that happened in February, of course. And of course, this got a lot of media attention. I don't even think Channel 1 covered this either. So it says here that William Blunt, his last known address was at the Radisson Hotel on William Street, was arraigned on March 25th, so that was yesterday, before Queens Supreme Court Justice Tony Calamaro. 15-count indictment charging him with attempted murder, assault, robbery, criminal possession of a weapon, and other crimes after he allegedly attacked the 58-year-old victim as she entered the Queens Plaza subway station. According to charges, at around 11:30 p.m. on, Thursday, February 24th, Nina Rothschild was heading home from her job as a researcher at New York City Health Department when she was followed into the subway by Blunt. The defendant began to kick the woman down the stairs, striking her multiple times with what attempted to be a hammer, grabbed the victim's multicolored tote bag from her arm, and fled the location. So at this time, Rothschild is still at Weill Cornell Medical Center, where she is still in critical condition with a fractured skull, an intracarnal hemorrhage, and there are other cuts on her head, according to Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz. In a statement setting on her website, the city relies on New Yorkers being able to take subways in safety. While the victim walked down the stairs into the subway, the male defendant in this case is accused of pouncing on his victim, shoving her forward, hitting her repeatedly in the head with a blunt object, and forcibly snatching her purse. This violence must stop. Okay, interesting. Defendant Denise Allison of Kingsville Avenue in St. Albans was also arraigned before Justice Camaro yesterday. Both Blunt and Allison are charged in the same indictment with criminal possession of stolen property. Oh, and then look at this. Police recovered 2 credit cards in the victim's name, 2 department stores cards in the victim's name, and her New York City identification cards. Also in the same statement on the Queens District Attorney's website, Melinda Katz also said, a second defendant is charged with using the victim's credit card. Both individuals will be held accountable for their alleged crimes. So, here we go. This is some good news, at least. Justice Camino ordered the defendants to return to court on April 11th. William Blunt will be facing up to 25 years to life in prison if convicted. Allison faces up to 4 years in prison. So, that's a good job. You know, I really hope Justice Camino does the right thing on April 11th, because April 11th is 2 weeks from this Monday. So, this guy has to be in prison for a very long time, because this woman is on life support, basically. So let's see. We're going to see who this judge is. Let's see. Tony Cremino. Let's see. If you look on Ballotpedia, here we go. I'm trying to look her up. Let's see. Yeah, I believe this is her, if I am correct. Because de Blasio appointed her. So she is in New York criminal court. Very interesting. So she does have a deep background in the court system. And obviously, I hope Judge Camino does the right thing, because it's all up to her now. And this is why I've been saying, you know, I'm hoping Governor Hochul next week, with the state budget due on Friday, she's going to do the right thing, hear our pleas. We've been asking for a while. The main thing we want in the bail reform right now is the fact that judges don't get discretion. And I was talking to a friend of mine from New Jersey about this on Tuesday, and we were talking about, you know, it just randomly came up in conversation, long story short. And I was telling her how the judges in New York, they don't get discretion right now to issue bail. And that can all change in April if the governor does the right thing. And I'm still wishing the governor's going to suspend the gas tax, which that's a whole nother story because, you know, inflation on everything's just out of hand these days. So anyhow, let's get to some economics news to wrap up this video. First up, the so-called College Point office building right on top of the Whitestone Expressway is on sale for, get this, $22.8 million. 129-09 26th Avenue, located right by the Target shopping plaza, is currently on sale for $22.8 million, according to B6 Real Estate Advisors. The 63,260 square foot building includes 44,095 square feet of office space and 19,165 square feet of industrial space. Building amenities include 133 parking space and a brand new roof with solar panels that provide the building with a yearly tax rebate and 10% electricity deduction. Additionally, the industrial portion of the building is divided into 5 spaces and includes 2 interior loading bays. The building is located near College Point Field, which is currently undergoing a $4.5 million capital project to transform it into a soccer field. According to the listing, the building is in prime positioning near the Van Wyck Expressway, LIE, Grand Central Parkway, Cross Island Parkway, and the Clearview Expressway. So, I know this building very, very well. As I just mentioned, it's right on top of the Target shopping plaza. So let's take a look, and we'll go on to Google Maps, and we'll get a look of where this building is. So this is where the office building is. So I was thinking of another building. This is the Easy Pass building right here. But I know exactly where this address is. This is not too far from where Ulmer Street is. Not too far from also where the College Point Boulevard is right here. And you got your DMV right here. So I pretty much know where this area is. This is the building that's up for sale right now. It looks like a nice office building, don't get me wrong. So hopefully somebody will purchase it. It's $22.8 million. Okay. And then lastly, Chip City. The beloved Astoria cookie chain is now in Bayside. There's some good news. So it says here that it opened yesterday. The brick and mortar shop at 23-96 Bell Boulevard, which apparently, from what I found out, this used to be the old Lane Bryant. So back in January, they opened the new location in Forest Hills at 72-34 Austin Street. So it says here that the first 100 customers who came in yesterday got a free cookie with their purchase. So the available flavors were chocolate chip, chocolate peanut butter, cookies and cream, and oatmeal apple pie. So you gotta check their website and Instagram for new flavors. But yeah, apparently this was right on top of the Chase, if I am correct. Okay. So at least there's some good news that maybe Bay Terrace is starting to get some momentum back. I just hope the new pizza shop is going to open soon, because that would be the reason why I would walk into Rosa's anyway. But remember, you got Panera Bread, they got cookies. So that's going to make things a little bit interesting in the Shane's Shopping Plaza. Oh, so that explains why Vicky Palladino couldn't attend the press conference with John Liu and Ed Braunstein yesterday. She was at the ribbon cutting. That makes sense. Okay, yeah. I mean, how could she be in 2 places at once? Yeah, exactly. The first customers had the opportunity to spin a wheel to win free cookies and Chip City apparel. So, Very interesting. I'm very glad that, again, a new business did open yesterday. So that explains why John Liu and Ed Braunstein couldn't attend yesterday. Because, again, they were holding a separate press conference. Oh, okay. So they are going to have red velvet. They are going to have, what else? Rainbow cookies. So they're going to work on having more varieties. And it says here that Chip City is open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, so that would be perfect when Rose's does open up. Because think about it. Once Rose's Pizza does open, you know, you're in the same shopping plaza. It's a good sign over there. So that's going to wrap up this video. Again, Channel 1, you know, they're just going to ignore stories that doesn't really matter to them. And, you know, they're going to think the Queens is just Staten Island 2.0. You know, that's the bottom line. So that's it. Thank you for watching.